Welcome back to the channel. We're at Starlight and we're going to build a courtroom and a jail. Let's get building. Gaming for XP, welcome back. We're back at Starlight again today, and I had this idea for a while now to build a courtroom, and also include a little bit of a holding area, jail area in this build. But so I had this idea of building a courtroom for quite a while, and I've tried it in a couple of settlements and it really hasn't worked. And as it turns out, you'll see as we go through why it didn't work in some other settlements. This building is pretty big, and in fact it's probably the biggest single building I've ever built in Fallout, and the building itself took around about five and a half hours to build, and so it was quite an ambitious project. I didn't realise quite how big this would be when I first started, but the result is just beyond what I thought I could do. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this build. Hopefully it will give you some ideas. And so here what I've done is I've basically built a whole lot of foundations out to try and get the size of the thing. The reason I've built it at Starlight is it was the only kind of large flat piece of ground I could find to build this. You can judge me at the end, and I'd be interested in your comments whether it actually fits here or not. But like I say, it doesn't necessarily fit into the settlement. It was just a case of space. So I'm using snappy house kits, not bits, for most of this build, and you know, this was really where I learned how to use snappy house kits quite extensively. So we'll just get the foundation down, and you can see it's around about, I think about 7. The depth of it about 7, 6 across and 7 deep. It's quite a huge base to work off, and it does take quite a while. Now I'm not sure how many episodes of this it will take. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out after I've posted this particular video just how long it would take. And this is really improvised building at its best, because I'd really just have as usual have this kind of rough idea how it should look, and then I go and build from there. So huge parts of this build will be sped up because it is a lot of it is just very rinse and repeat, you know, putting floors and stuff like that. So I will slow it down if there's an interesting point for you to look at. You notice I used prefabs to start with, and I do this a lot just to get my head around the particular look or the foundation or whatever I'm going for, and then I'll add the pieces back in and take the prefabs out, which I've done here. So I knew I wanted a 2-story building here. I knew that I wanted those to incorporate those kind of those stairs in the build that I've put in, those spiral staircases, and that's really all I knew at that point. So used the wood foundations to start with and the prefabs just to get that look and the size right, and then I'll start, as you can see, I start adding pieces in as required. So now here you'll see I come up against a bit of a challenge here, because we'll come back to that corner in a sec, but those stairs aren't going to work with that kind of half foundation, so I need to rethink this. But at the same time, if you look straight up, I'm running out of room on the fence line there, so I need to come up with a fairly quick solution here, which actually isn't too hard to do. And we just put a corner in here and we're pretty sorted. There we go. So you can see I'm really getting the base foundation sorted here, and getting everything in place. And So there's lots of stuff that I'll do. And look, you know, when you're building like this, you really have to judge what you want now. So this area in here that we're in now will be the courtroom, and down below will be the entranceway, and the jail cell holding area will be down here. Okay, so we'll just put some stairs in. And again, a lot of this as well, like I said, I was learning how to use Snappy House kits, and I do learn quite extensively how to use that, and it's a great mod. I believe there is an alternative. I'm just trying to center up these stairs a little bit to the front of the building, and it's weird how that works. So that snapped straight in first time. Now it doesn't want to play ball for some reason, and it's strange how it does that and fall out. But yeah, so I think about set of 3 stairs. Those don't really work. And again, you're having that snapping issue. And what I find is if I go up on top, it'll snap straight in. There we go. So as I said, I say quite often, it's always about the angle you're looking at the piece sometimes. And I think because I run a couple of mods that do improve the snapping, I think my snapping is a little bit more sensitive than normal. So we'll get some walls in and start to really get the overall look figured out. So I'm actually using, and I'm mixing and matching a lot of the different elements that Snappy House Kits gives us. So I'm mixing and matching a whole lot of elements here. This is actually some of the church walls, and I'm actually here, I'm looking for the right door configuration for the front here. It's going to be key, I guess. And this is really a starting point for me. I actually end up changing this completely as far as walls go, but this is really just trying to get the look right and then building on that. So Snappy House Kits is one of those mods that has so much in it. It just has probably too much in it. So many options for you to play with. It's not funny, but the beauty of it, it all kind of works together and snaps in together, which I like a lot. So I mean, this doesn't look overcomplicated, and I guess, you know, a lot of the time's been spent finding various things that fit where I want them to fit and look how I want them to look. And you know, because I wasn't totally familiar with Snappy House Kits, it takes me quite a while flicking through menus and looking at something and go, oh, that might work. And but a lot of the time when you're building, that's the process anyway. It does, and I think that's the enjoyable part of building. So you can see I look at these walls and I'm just trying to figure out what's the best fit for the front of the courtroom here, because I have a certain look. I want an old kind of colonial, old style looking building, and so you know, I know that front entrance there, once you walk in, will have, so that's looking okay, we'll have a balcony and then into the courtroom and whatnot. So I have a fairly clear idea what I want that to look like inside. We do need some windows and stuff, but we will continue to try and just figure out, and this whole video is probably just really getting the foundation, or at least the core idea down, and then working from there. Now that's a bit big. That these are quite tall, but I like the look of these. And so what I want to do here is, I like the look of that. Actually, I do like the look of that. What I want to do here is I want to have a little hallway. As we move the foundation, try and figure this out. I want the, and that's weird how that does that, but it does that for some reason. We'll just drop that, put that in there. Okay. So I'm just trying to solve this height issue thing. So I might have to move that whole area there, and it's going to cause me other problems because the stairs are now not going to fit because of those taller walls. But this, again, this is all part of the learning curve. But I want to put a hallway through there and then the holding cells in the back. So here we go. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And there we go. We're having these snapping issues again. That's okay. So we're about to enter quite a significant part of the build, because now I've got some issues with ceiling heights and stair heights and all the rest of it. Okay, so you can see that that stairway is sitting off the ground now, and so although I've solved one issue, I've created another. And this initial build, I was apprehensive whether I would put this up for you guys, because a lot of it is troubleshooting and trying to figure things out, and a lot of it is the same. But I thought if you are watching my videos, then I'm guessing you do building yourself, or you're looking for ideas. So I thought this might be useful for you to see how we eventually actually figured this out, and the compromises we have to make to get this to work. And because I have to raise this entire floor up now, but you can see I'm working with different materials to figure out a compromise between getting the height right for these walls here, so I can use those, plus fixing these stairs. And so what I end up coming up with, and this is all on the fly. This is all kind of as it happened. No editing, as far as I haven't cut anything out here as far as me doing all this and then coming back and say, look guys, how great am I? Because I think it's important that you see the struggle. The struggle is real, as you all know if you've built and you continue to build in Fallout, and so you're always trying to figure out the best solutions. And when I watch this back, I actually can see where I could have done this a little bit different. But again, when you first build anything, it really is always a learning curve to how to do it. So you can see it's like a game of Tetris now. For us older viewers that know what Tetris is. So I'll pull all these foundations up now, and then I will what I come up with, and there again, weird, that didn't snap in straight away. There we go. So we've just gone up a slight level in the courtroom, and this just does not want to snap for whatever reason. Spin it round, try everything. I mean, I can get it in, as you know, I can get it in with like that. But now this won't snap. There we go. There we go. So we have a raised area here. I'm probably going to have to push that down one, because it's just a little bit too narrow. And get rid of that first. Come on. That's it. Push that down there. We want it to go in there. And again, I can see already I have another issue with the walls, with that kind of little lip that it's created, and that's something else I'm going to have to solve. So there we go. You can see the struggle is real. I'm probably sweating at this point. But yep. Now I will use, I mean in here I do use carpeting and whatnot to hide a lot of this. So key with any building is to get the foundation right, and then everything should flow from there, right? So we're going to put some steps in here. I think I end up using these in the end, but the what I'm thinking is I can now put a couple of doors in, into the courtroom here. It should all be good. So be warned, the rest of this video is really struggle street time. There's a lot of struggling going on here, and again, this concrete floor, I can see I haven't extended it over quite fully. I can push up like that, and now I've got to try and figure out the little alleyway or little corridor that I'm going to put in underneath, and that presents a whole lot of other issues and a whole lot more struggle for me to do. So we'll get these last concrete foundations in here, make sure that we can put a wall in and that's all flush, which it is now. But it is coming together. Reason though, as I said, I've left all this in is just to try and give you an idea of sometimes how difficult things can be. You make one decision and it causes problems in other areas. Now, see, I want to put this wall in. Now that this wall should snap in there by rights, because of the heights should be right, but of course it won't. So again, it actually makes me restructure completely upstairs again, and yeah, it's just always a continual fight. So I actually want that to sit closer to the door, but if that's the compromise I have to make, that's fine. I want it to sit there. And again, this is all about build order, and with a new mod you never really know how things are going to react to other things, so there you go, it's thought about it. So there you go. So hopefully this build has been useful for you. We're getting towards the end here, and I'm hoping that in the next build it'll be a little bit more exciting, and we'll probably end up about 3 builds. I'm guessing that it'll take 3 episodes of these builds, but it actually works out okay in the end. It does work out okay, because now I've got a little platform here. We need to drop that down in there. Probably have to take the stairs off. You'll see in a second how this all works. So we need to push that one down. Come on. I want you to go there. Take this. Yeah. Told you I need to take the stairs off. Drop that one down. Come on. Spin it around maybe. No, doesn't want to go in there. Put that over there for a sec, see if that'll work. There we go. Build order as usual, and then put that wall back in, and that should snap right to there. There we go, and we'll do the same on the other side. We put the stairs back in. Thank you. We're going to do the same on the other side. See if it'll snap in. Why does that do that? Why does it work on that side and doesn't work on the other side? Why, Bethesda? Why? Anyway, so now I've got this area here, which is fine. What we'll do is we'll step that up and we'll put the door off to the left there, and that should all work perfectly. But again, this is the compromises that you have to make when you're building, and I think I have to end up using another set of stairs. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to finish it up here. In the next build we'll start to really get into some of the foundation work and some of the cooler stuff of building this courtroom. So thanks for watching. Catch you later.